Hello everyone, it's Magic here, and these are all of the lenses that I've shot this year shooting weddings and sessions and basically just doing my job. So in this video I'm going to give you an overview which lenses I use for specific situations during the wedding day and basically why, so you can get the idea how these lenses perform in like a wedding scenario. Also, I shot all of the stuff that you're going to see with two A7IV cameras, so all of my wedding work, all of the paid work I've shot this year was with these two cameras, and all of the photos that you're going to see in this video are edited with my Magic Cadabra preset, which is on sale for Black Friday right now, so check it out in the description. So what do I have here? I actually have the three non-native lenses. Wait, I'm going to just kind of move them in the right order. So I'm got three non-native lenses. I'm going to start with these. So the first one is going to be a 45 tilt shift that I used on MC11 adapter. So I used it for actually just a couple of the workshop shoots. So you can see these photos were all shot with this lens. I love them. It worked really well. I could play with, plane of focuses. So I could get two people in the frame in a different kind of focus areas. It was beautiful. I love it. It gives you amazing kind of a vibe to the image. So this was 45 tilt shift. I also did use a 35 L lens. So this is old Canon 35mm f1.4 L lens on a tilt adapter. It's a FODGA tilt adapter. I don't think I can recommend this because actually my lens fell from this adapter and it broke, so it doesn't work anymore. So that's why I didn't use that much tilt shift this year, because that was my go-to. And I think it's the adapter's fault that the lens actually fell, so I'm not recommending the adapter. And the third weird lens I used, like a non-native lens I used this year, it was just for one engagement shot. I used this old Biotar 50mm f1.4 lens. For the next year, I'm probably going to use the TT Artisan 51.4 as my go-to tilt lens, so you can see the video about this lens on my channel right here. And all of the other lenses are basically my, kind of four go-to lenses at each of the weddings. On my metadata, when I was checking, the photos for this particular video, I found just a couple photos shot with 1635 f4 size lens. So that was a lens that I borrowed from my second shooter because we were doing this first dance. I kind of thought that this place, looked better at wider angle than 24. So my widest is 24. He had 16, so I shot this at 16. This beautiful stairs. I think it worked really well. It was really dark, so I used a flash in the hand. So it's kind of like flashing like this with like a modifier on my flash, and I really love the result. If you're interested in my flash techniques, there's actually a course, online course coming finally this week. So for the Black Friday, there's going to be also an online course, Flash Magic, here. So sign up for newsletter if you're interested. Coming very, very, very soon. So that was like a 16-35, just a couple photos, one wedding. And then there's also one wedding when I had 20mm f1.8 on loan that I used specifically for the dance floor stuff. So I like shooting dance floor stuff wider, but I don't like 16mm or anything like that. That's too wide for me for the dance floor. I like 20 or 24mm. That's my go-to look at the dance floor. So I kind of want to purchase 20mm for the next year. I still haven't. I still rock my 24. But yeah, there was this one wedding when I've shot a lot of photos, a lot of dancing photos, 20mm f1.8, shooting mainly flash in the face technique, also covered in my upcoming flash course. And then the next one, my main one, 24. So you're going to see a lot of dancing stuff here as well with this lens. But also specifically with f1.4 aperture, you get this nice background blur and you get tons of light. So you can use lens like this in multiple occasions. So whenever you're in a tight space or you're at the ceremony when you don't have much options to move into other directions, but you want to get like this wide angle view. And then I also shot a couple portraits. Usually when I shoot portraits with 24, I kind of look for leading lines. I kind of look for these places that would just benefit from the lens like this. So like right here, you can see, these lines kind of coming together right in the middle. But also when I shoot portraits with 24, I try to keep my couples in the center of the frame because like 24 will just give you distortion. It will not look good on the couples if you keep them on the edges of the frame with lens like this. And 24 came really in handy for me this year when I was shooting this session on the boat at Lake Como. So it was very tight there. So yeah, this lens produced some amazing images that I really love. So I'm really glad I had it back there, because 35 was just too tight for this boat, specifically for these images right inside the boat. I also used this lens for like a couple of these group shots, like specifically late night group shots with flash. Not the during the day group shots. These I use other lenses for. I try not to use 24, but at night for this kind of fun group shots, it worked really well. And then 35mm 1.4 G Master, my go-to lens, always on my camera. So when I start the wedding with two cameras, one always has 35-1.4 on it, and it's gonna give me all the documentary stuff, situations, so all the getting ready stuff, all the scene setting stuff, all the details as well. Here I'm not afraid of putting people or couple at the edges of the frame. It doesn't give me that distortion look, so it's kind of like all-arounder lens for me. And then during the ceremony, I love coming slightly closer to the couple, shoot at f1.4, so wide open, just to get that really nice separation from the background. And 35-1.4 will shine in the moments like this, cocktail hour, for example, when you have nice greenery. I'm gonna try to shoot it wide open as much as I can, just to get that nice background blur, that light coming from behind the subject. Like lens like this will always produce amazing photos. So if you don't have 35-1.4 in your bag, I strongly recommend getting one. Like, it will give you amazing results and you will love it. And then shooting portraits with it, it's just beautiful. Again, you can put your couple everywhere in the frame you want, so you can have them small, you can have them big, you can come close to them. I like coming close with 35-1.4. You get that intimate kind of look, you get that super shallow depth of field. Beautiful lens for stuff like this. But my next go-to lens is gonna be my 50-1.2. So if I start a wedding with 35-1.4 on one camera, the second one will always have that 50-1.2. So what's different with these lenses? With 50, I'm gonna shoot more vertical photos, definitely. I'm gonna shoot more single portraits with this. So every time I get an occasion to shoot like a bridal portrait or a groom portrait, I'm going to use that 50-1.2. I'm going to shoot at 1.2. I'm going to shoot vertical. So if I'm getting a lens like this, I do want to use that f1.2 aperture. Specifically, this Sony G Master one is like super sharp at 1.2, and the autofocus is so fast that I can take shots of walking people as well, and don't worry about the sharpness and being in focus at all. And what you might find interesting, I'm going to shoot a lot of group shots, a lot of family portraits with a 50. So whenever I have a space to just take a few steps back, I do want to shoot as many family portraits as I can with 50mm lens, because I do prefer that focal length, that compression, that background with a longer lens. Like ideally I would shoot 85 or even a longer lens, just to get that nice separation of the background and stuff. But usually there's not much space to do that. So 50 is gonna be kind of my sweet spot for moments like this. And then obviously tons and tons and tons of portraits, vertical portraits, horizontal portraits, tons of portraits with this lens. It's just, the portrait king, I would say. And then an 85. I did use two different 85s this year. So I used most of the photos I shot with my 85-1.8, but then there was a couple I've shot with 85-1.4 that I had on loan, because I just wanted to try it more. I have never had an occasion to shoot it as much, but actually 84, it's the most boring lens for me. It's just so long. I do prefer being closer. I do prefer shooting 35 and a 50 and a 24, and that 85 I will only use for stuff that I need to reach farther. I'm gonna have, let's say here, I'm having like a big church, so the aisle is long, so I'm gonna use a longer lens. So this is kind of like a practical lens for me. Like ideally I would not shoot this at all, but practically it just comes in handy in specific occasions. Maybe this one portrait, the bridal portrait, is the one that I really like shot with this lens. But yeah, I could get this with 50 as well. So I'm just not 85mm guy. And if you look at my kind of all photos that I've shot with these lenses, there is not a single portrait of a wedding couple with an 85 lens, which you might find surprising, because I know many people use this lens as they go-to portrait lens. Not me, not magic. I use 35 and a 50. So yeah, so these are all of the lenses that I used this year for my wedding work. I do hope it was helpful. Make sure to check out the presets. Once again, the Black Friday sale is here, and also for Black Friday I will have my flash course, so sign up for newsletter to get informed about this. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and see you guys in the next one.